Alright, 7-star Crossbones is just insane, man. Even unawakened, he is still a powerhouse. So what his awakened ability does is, whenever he gets a debuff on him, he has a 90% chance to purify it and convert it into a fury buff. So in those debuff matchups, he is just a crazy strong character. However, even unawakened, he still has a ton of utility. So what does he do unawakened? Well, the most important thing is he has by far the best defensive ability accuracy reduction in the game versus hero characters, but even against villains he still does pretty good overall. So he reduces ability accuracy by 25% per fury buff on him against hero characters. Now, he can enter overrun pretty much instantly, and that gives him 3 fury buffs automatically. So he has that instant 75% ability accuracy reduction, and then just 1 crit is needed to get that 4th fury buff, which means he is just locking down the opponent for the entire fight. That is just insane, man. And additionally, this guy is just monstrous damage-wise. He has some of the best damage output in the game, especially in the higher health pool fights. So he really just does it all because he reduces ability accuracy, he cancels out nodes, and he does a bunch of damage as well. And he also has access to a ton of fury buffs, obviously, and he doesn't crit, so it's also some pretty nice utility. So his kit is pretty simple, but what he does the best, and there's pretty much no contest whatsoever. So let's see him in action now. So first up, we have this Ronin that has Biohazard. And like I said, versus debuff heavy matchups, he just goes crazy when he's awakened, right? But even if he's unawakened, he still does these fights very, very well because of his overrun and his defensive ability accuracy reduction. So we have already enough furies to just cancel him out completely, which is insane, right? The fight barely just started and he's already locked in for the rest of the fight. And that's why Crossbones is just so good, because the things he does instantly, and he does them the best as well, while also having some pretty crazy damage output. So now we have a lot of fury stacked up, and this is where stuff just starts to get a bit wild, man. Like that heavy attack, massive. This combo right here, super massive. And then we drop the SP2, and this just ends the fight. And yeah, man, Crossbones, once he gets going, is just a bit insane. Just so crazy. And now we have this Dizzy and Mesmerize lane. But like I said, Crossbones, 1 overrun, and then the fight is just locked in completely. It's so absurd with just how crazy he is at locking stuff down for the entire fight. But of course, there is the issue that his Furies are a bit annoying to maintain, but once you master him, he really isn't that hard to maintain. But I'm still a very new Crossbones player, so I'm not the most experienced with him, but I feel like I did pretty good in this video. He's not like the hardest champion to play, but there is a lot of spacing to work around with and just a lot of timing as well to manage. But once you get him down, this happens. A monstrous SP2 and Star-Lord is down. And now we have this very interesting fight. We have this dueled and terminal velocity lane. So whenever we crit, we give the opponent plus 25% combat power rate, and that stacks up to 300%, which is not fun at all, right? However, Crossbones does not crit, so this fight is just a joke for him. There is no struggle whatsoever. He just gets it done. And yeah, man, 0 crit, 0 worry, and he just has the perfect spacing as well for Heimdall's SP1. And additionally, Heimdall has auto block, right? But Crossbones counters that completely, so this fight is just nothing for him. And of course, Crossbones can lose his fury buffs over time, but the fact that the SP1 gives you 3 and Overrun gives you 3 as well, which pretty much gives you the full ability accuracy reduction, it really just is insane with how easy it is to just lock down the opponent. At 3 Furies, you're not hitting super hard, right? But you're still just in complete control of the fight, which is the most important part when playing Crossbones. And there we drop the SP1, some pretty nice damage for sure. We drop a heavy attack for the safety, pretty good stuff. And yeah, so far so good. We have a lot of Furies up now, so that's pretty perfect. And now we rush in, and this matchup is just about over because check out this SP2 damage. Yeah, did not stand a chance. And that was a pretty clean fight there. And now we have the Spider-Gwen on Safeguard, and Safeguard is such a fun time with Crossbones because he just locks it down and you do your full damage output. Like, Safeguard just doesn't exist with Crossbones. Like, check this out, we do a combo, pretty good stuff. We do overrun after the SP1, and now we do our normal damage. So yeah, this dude's crazy, obviously. Of course, there are other champions that have defensive ability accuracy reduction, but his is just the best, right? Falcon has a cooldown, Black Widow's is inconsistent, the other one also is inconsistent. So like, when it comes to consistency and like access to it, no one does it better than Crossbones. Even Black Cat still has to get to the SP2, right? Crossbones, dash back, hold block, you're done for the rest of the fight. That's it. The whole entire matchup, you have them locked down. And no one can do that. No one else can do it that fast besides Falcon, who loses it after like 16 seconds or so. And that's why I feel like Crossbones is honestly one of the best pools in the Titan Crystal. At first, I was like kind of 50-50, but after recording this gameplay, I am not anymore, dude. This guy is one of the best pools you can get, and he'll just put in work for you, like he's doing right now for me. So now Thorns is shut off. Like, no more worry about that. We can just play this regularly. Here she drops the SP2, no big deal. I drop a heavy attack, then I enter overrun afterwards, after this SP1, sorry. And now we're just chilling, man. The Fury from the node is pretty massive as well, so we're just hitting very, very hard already. So this is just a very fun matchup. And now we have so many Furies, and we're just hitting so hard. So this matchup is just a joke at this point. We get some extra Furies there. And just look at that damage, man. Like, it's one thing to be one of the best, no, to be the best defensive ability accuracy reduction character, but to also have damage output this good is just not okay. Like, Falcon doesn't hit too hard. Black Cat does hit very hard for sure, but Crossbones has the faster damage access. So it just feels so unfair with this guy. But then again, there is some balance towards him because he does have like that pretty tough playstyle with just getting everything lined up with the Furies and all that, and his durations just aren't really that generous either. So there are some drawbacks for sure, but for the most part, this dude is just unstoppable, and he's just so powerful as well. So yeah, man, I am a Crossbones believer now. He is just so good, like such a powerhouse. I don't know why he's not talked about enough, but now we have this Dark Spidey on Safeguard, and you know, he shuts it down. He shuts down the evade also, so there really isn't anything to worry about here. It's just regular Crossbone stuff at this point. It's the usual, right? Here he drops the SP2, no big deal. I enter overrun to be safe. Perfect. We take some block damage, it's fine. I drop a heavy attack here, I believe. Yes, there we go. And it does some pretty nasty damage as well. And this matchup is now over because check out this damage output right here. Or no, right here. I'm going to drop the SP2 soon. So here I finally drop it, and this ends the fight because of course it does. Just look at that damage output. So yeah, Crossbones is just insane, obviously. Like, there is no other way to describe him. He is just crazy. Like, his kit is crazy, his ease of use is a bit hard, but once you master him, he will just do so much work for you, and he is easily a top tier skill character. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on Crossbones, and yeah, that's about it for me.